it's on a wobbly base, and we'll try not to touch it because it looks like it's wobbly. Are we making y'all seasick? Sorry. All right. We've got 29 people on. Y'all be sure and say hi so we know. If you would, do me a favor and help support Matt in his first endeavor by sharing this with your friends and kind of get the word out. All right. So he's literally learning from scratch. He's never worked with a mesh roller. He only makes the mesh rollers.
Yes.
So y'all don't look at me. I'm not going to be in this frame very long. Because I am looking pretty rough. Let's get that table that way. Big Bertha coming through. We got tight corners in here, y'all.
SWAT Studios.
Oh my God. Maybe I can see the comments from there. Hey Cindy, this is going to be funny. You're probably right. Hey, where's that thing?
What thing?
That thing you tried on your daddy.
Oh, it's in there.
Okay, never mind then.
I don't think it's gonna work.
Okay. Alright. So this right here, we are so out of frame here.
Yeah, we're lagging behind on there.
Yeah, there's always going to be a little bit of a delay. Alright, this was just like a sample. And the wreath is, y'all don't look at me because I am a hot mess. Okay. You're going to need to cut 17 strips of this.
17 strips, huh?
Yeah, 17 20-inch strips. No. So you'll do, I guess, 8 of both of them together. That'll give you 16 and then one extra. Do 2 of them at one time.
17 inches?
Yeah, do 2 rows at one time. Y'all still with us? Looks like we froze up there for a second.
Where's the beginning of this one? On the bottom. Where's the beginning of the bottom?
What happened to it?
I have no idea.
That's crazy. Oh, I got caught up in the top one. Alright, let me rewind it. We literally are doing this from scratch. He didn't practice nothing. This is learning 101 right here. So he's going to do, well, I'll let him tell you what kind of wreath he's doing.
It's a fishing theme.
Fishing theme. He likes to camp and fish and hunt, so I'm not surprised that fishing is what he wanted to do. Roll those up out your way. There you go. All right. He's using the collapsible mesh roller in case you're curious.
So 17 inches, you said?
You want 20 inches on those. So you want to cut like right on that line right there.
Okay.
With your rotary.
Is that about right there?
Uh-huh. There you go.
Okay. How many more of
So
these?
this is 2. We want a total of 17. It's been a while since I've done a wreath, and I always thought they had 18 ties on them, but this one has 17. Alright, I'm fixing to look at the comments, y'all. Yeah, it's going to be fun, Beverly.
Y'all don't make fun of me too much.
Yeah, y'all can. He's a good-natured guy. He sure makes fun of me enough.
I do not.
You do too.
Oh, what? Alright, how many we got here? 2.
2, 4, 6,
Well, I could definitely see how
8. So you only need 1 more of those.
Okay. Definitely see how the mesh roller would make this easier.
Yeah, right?
This would be awful if you didn't have it.
Well, I'm going to show you. Okay, Okay, now turn one of those rolls the other way and try to cut it. I tell you what, just take one off and lay it on the table without a mesh roller.
Yeah. I can already see how that's going.
So this, now you understand why we make them.
Yeah, that would.
It's a pain in the butt.
That would be.
All right. So what he's going to do, all right, so these, on this one here, you want to cut 17 10-inch strips of each of those.
17 10-inch strips.
Yeah. So you can roll it out to 20 and cut it in half.
So roll it up to 20.
Uh-huh. And then cut it on 10. You don't want it back up yet. There you go. Don't get your fingers. He got his finger on the saw this week, y'all. Or this past week.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Alright, how many of these am I doing?
17 altogether. You just did 2. That's 4.
I don't think I have to be perfectly straight.
Oh no. That's one good thing about a mesh rake. You can get away with a lot of stuff on a mesh rake.
Alright, how many we got?
10.
Yeah, if you make wreaths, I can see where you'd need to have one of these.
That's 12.
This probably changed the game for a lot of wreath makers, didn't it?
Well, it changed the game for me when I asked your dad to make the first one, but I didn't know everybody else was going to want one too. Do we have? All right, so we won't. Let's do these in piles of color.
Okay.
And count 'em.
I wonder if anybody from my bowling team is on here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What?
Yeah, I know. You lost me for a bit. Yeah, we saw where it said it was interrupted. Hopefully everybody can hang with us. This is going to be a really quick design. He's not going to use any ribbon. He's not going to put a bow on it. He's got some really cool attachments that he's going to put in it.
7. We got 7 right now.
Oh, so we need to keep going.
Yeah. Do we need 17 of each?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll separate them. You cut them.
9.
I appreciate y'all coming on.
11.
We had a bad storm roll through here earlier, and I was afraid our internet was going to get knocked out.
13.
I bet that furnace is making a lot of noise.
15. Last cut here.
Okay.
Should be.
Alrighty. Alright, we'll set these aside for a second.
Sure got enough.
We're going to do a real simple technique for his first wreath. Of course, I'm out of practice too, y'all. I mean, how long has it been since I've made a wreath? So, but I watch enough of y'all's lives that I feel like I kind of have a good idea in my head. Set these back here for a second. Oh, this stuff's messy. All right. So what we're
So
gonna
is this actually mesh?
yeah this yeah this is mesh.
Okay.
Okay. So what you want to do is we're going to do it the easy way. We're going to we're going to fold it with the rough edges inside,
Mm-hmm.
flip it back over.
Okay.
This is how Zach and Ronnie do it on Wreaths of Joy.
Okay.
I think this is their technique. So, and then you kind of scrunch it.
Okay.
And then we're going to use Regina's. Look over there, that board with the pegs sticking up.
Provo.
Yeah. Oh, Regina, if you're on here, he knew what it was called. How about that?
I know Regina's Provo.
We're just going to use that to hold that.
Okay.
Then you want to take one of each of these. We're going to do one at a time. And you want to just, about the size of a quarter. It's called a curl.
Okay.
And do that one and put it in there with it. Can y'all even see what he's doing? I need to go over there and control the...
They probably will once it's over here.
Yeah. Work closer to the mesh roller and they can see what you're doing. And he's got the Provo that he's using. I'll try to go over there and man the control. There you go. Alright. So what you want to do is you want to hold those down tight together.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. We're kind of
Okay.
delayed on there, so I can't really. And we're going to start on the outside. And you want to push it down in there real tight. And then twist that on there real tight. With the curls on top.
Okay.
You put the curls on the bottom.
Oh.
There you go. Split it.
Like this?
Yeah. There you go. Real tight.
Into a tight?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I like to do this. Hang on for a second. Go back. When you're pressing,
Mm-hmm.
do it real tight like that.
Okay.
Give it a quick twist and then you can. Alright. You want to duplicate that process 16 more times.
Okay.
And I'm going to go and look at comments and man the camera a little better. Because I don't think the camera's doing this process justice.
Alright, so on this one here, I do it like this first.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of overlap it a good inch
Okay.
and then flip it over. And then dead center, just start scrunching with your fingers. There you go. It's called a ruffle.
Okay.
It's a Wreaths of Joy ruffle.
Put that there.
There you go.
Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Can y'all see what he's doing? Is the Provo in the way? Perfect. Carol, she says I'm a perfectionist mom. I can't help it. I try. I did back off. Hey, Regina.
Hey, Regina.
This is not the Regina we were just talking about. This is
okay.
Regina Sneed York, who I think
From New York?
her last name is York. Regina is one of our customers that I think owns every piece we sell.
Okay, awesome.
So
well, we appreciate that. Thanks.
Her craft room is set up.
Sounds like it.
Hey, Denise McOwen.
Hey, Denise. How are you?
That was Denise that called me a perfectionist mom. I thought it was
Oh.
Caroline.
Well, she knows you pretty well.
Yeah, Denise knows me well. Sorry. Hey, but didn't I raise a fine young man? I have to take a little credit somewhere. All right. And you press it down really tight and then get that tie on there really good. That way your wreath won't bounce around. And we are going to sell this wreath on Etsy. It's going to be really cool. And y'all see this design.
Is that okay?
Uh-huh. We'll tighten them up with some glue once you're done.
All right.
He's already got the hang of it. Who needs mama now?
I think I probably still do.
Y'all like his SWAT hat and his SWAT shirt and his SWAT background?
Tell them where the SWAT hat came from.
Yeah, the SWAT hat, y'all. We have a subscription group. A subscription to subscription box. Gosh, I can't remember what the name of it is. But And that came in our box this past month, and he stole it from me. Sherry said, well said. Hey, Dawn Sanchez. Sherry said, I think it's awesome that he wants to do this and learn to use what he makes.
That's right.
Well, how long have you been making them? You started part-time last summer.
I've made them off and on pretty much since you've been doing them almost.
Well, that's true. That's true. He's been on the production end for a while.
I've been the only one making them for over a year now, haven't I? Just about.
Except for the pieces that the manufacturer cut out.
Yes.
But yes.
But I still have to sand those and assemble them.
Yeah,
I still hand sand every one of them.
He makes the collapsible, the gift wrap buddy, the glue gun holder, and all the sidekicks from scratch. And he sands and puts together the single and the triple stationaries. Hey, Melissa Erickson. Thank y'all for popping in. We're so glad to have you. I didn't think it would take him long to catch on. Obviously, he's a quick study. He figured this out pretty quick.
We'll see anyways.
Yeah. Show him the sign that you're going to use. Hold it up. One fine fisherman lives here with the catch of his life.
Which would be my Hannah.
Yeah, his Hannah, his fiance, Hannah. Regina Sneed York. Yes, she has the collapsible and the sidekick. Regina, I was thinking you had more than that. Didn't you have a single before that? Love that sign. Sheena Smith loves that sign.
Cool.
So it's not hard, is it?
No, it's not too bad.
It's not too frou-frou for you, is it?
I don't reckon.
He likes the idea that he doesn't necessarily have to work with ribbons and bows tonight.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, Regina...
It's all in the spirit of...
Hey, Regina Sellers did offer to come on a live with you.
Oh, yeah?
When you want to learn how to make one of her provos.
Okay.
And she will teach you live.
Well, come on with it, Regina. Let's do it.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I was telling her today, I'm so rusty at all this. I was like, I don't even know if I can remember how to do it. We've been on the engineering end of this for so long. I think that kind of looks like fishnet in a way.
Yeah.
Has a little bit of an organic.
Not the kind you wear on your legs, though, right?
No, maybe not the kind you wear on your legs. Just
Me?
kidding.
That's
Just kidding. Oh, wait a minute. Just perfect timing. Hannah Elizabeth, what are you doing, girlfriend? That's his fiance, y'all, Hannah Elizabeth.
Hey, Hannah, look at me go.
She says, I think it needs a bow.
Come on, Hannah. Tell me out now.
Oh.
I love you.
Oh. Hey, hold the sign up again for Hannah.
Hold on.
Hannah, this sign made me think of you. It says, one fine fisherman lives here with the catch of his life. We might have to make one of those for y'all's wedding present, huh?
Yeah. See, wouldn't that be something? Once we get married, I'll make us a wreath for our front door.
Oh, did y'all detect the sarcasm in that?
Well, I'll know how to.
That's right, you will. There's Regina Sellers. We were just talking about you.
Hey, Regina.
I told him that you offered to teach him how to use the Provo on a live.
And I said, bring it on.
He's doing good. I only had to show him how to do one, and now he's rocking. He's doing Ronnie and Zach's ruffle, and then he's just putting 2 curls on each one of each color. It's the large Provo the hand, Annette. Hey, Lynn Hawkins. Y'all be sure and share this with your friends. We would really appreciate it. Regina Seller says, when somebody says bring it on, that's a done deal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Regina's Cajun.
Okay.
She don't take nothing for granted. She just does it.
Well, can she cook Cajun?
I don't know, Regina, can you cook Cajun? I'm sure she can. She grew up there, I think. You missed what I said, Annette? I can't remember what I said. What part did you miss? Oh, which probo? There, I just saw your question again. She says, of course she can cook Cajun. Annette, that is the probo, the hand large model. Look at Vanna White is showing it for everybody. We're using it for a different purpose tonight. He's using it to hold his ruffles and curls.
My I'm using it to hold my ruffles and curls.
Well, that's what you're doing.
Look at me go.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, if y'all knew my son, he's about as manly man as you can get. And he's standing here doing ruffles and curls. And he's happy about doing it.
Yeah.
He ain't got a bit of problem with it. That's what you call being in touch with your masculinity. All the men on here that make wreaths, they're in touch with their masculinity and they just do it.
That's right.
Regina says she makes good gumbo.
Ooh-wee.
He is rocking it, Susan. Hey, how are you, girl?
Hey,
There's
Susan.
another one of the, we got several of the SWAT team in here.
Thanks for being an affiliate.
Annette said, thanks, Vanna White.
You're welcome. I was going to say Pat, but I guess you're not Pat. So. So you know how to make gumbo. Do you know how to make etouffee? Some crawfish etouffee? I love that stuff.
The big question is can you make beignets?
Ooh, yeah.
My God, the beignets in New Orleans.
When we went to Reef Makers
Ooh,
Live,
gosh, they were good.
Hannah was with us. You had them kind of late.
Thank you, Susan. We're excited about doing it, teaching him how to do this.
Hannah and I got to eat them fresh right there at the restaurant. I hated you missed out on that. The beignets.
We learned something the hard way, though. We thought, oh, these are so good. Let's just get a bunch of them and take home.
Or heat them up the next day.
Yeah, and the next day we opened up the bag and they were just like melted.
They were just a big soggy ball of greasy mush.
Yeah.
So you gotta eat those fresh.
You have to eat the beignets fresh.
But
All
boy,
right.
are they good.
Beverly Quiggins, he's doing awesome for his first wreath. I think so too.
Thanks.
Jennifer Hornsby
Hopefully y'all
said,
still
hey
say-
Matt.
Hey. Hopefully y'all still say that when it's done.
Yeah, Regina says you do need to eat them fresh. But man, they were so good. I've heard people talk about them before, but that was the first time I'd ever had one. And oh my word, him and Hannah brought me some back to my room, and I thought I had died and gone to heaven.
You can buy a mix. The same restaurant in New Orleans sells a box at Kroger. You can make them at home.
Hey Regina, are the store-bought kind any good that he's talking about?
I'm sure if you make them right, they're okay.
Melissa says you're doing better for your first wreath than she did when she first started.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for the encouragement. I will say I have a pretty good teacher.
Well, we selected an easy technique for his first one.
Don't tell him that, Mom.
Okay, this is the most difficult technique
That's
there
right.
is.
Yep. I'm like a brief prodigy.
He's just like a super complicated person.
I prefer reef prodigy.
Oh, okay, you're a wreath prodigy. Hashtag wreath prodigy, y'all.
Yep.
You're doing good if you got the whole bottom row done.
Not yet. I'm making
Watch your Coke.
my way around here.
Y'all know what happened right before we hit live? Oh, wait a minute. Susan said, I used my sidekick, love it.
Oh,
and
sweet.
gave one away for a giveaway. Oh,
Nice.
sorry I didn't have it unpacked last night. Girl, that's fun.
What did you use your sidekick for? There's so many different uses for it.
While she's typing what she was using it for, let me tell y'all what happened right before I hit the live button. We've got a couple of lights in here because these walls just absorb light. They don't reflect it. And so we were having trouble getting the studio lit so you could see what he's doing. And I decided that one of the light bulbs wasn't strong enough, so I took it out to go get another one. And what did I do with that light bulb? Dropped it, shattered it all over the floor in here. And we've got a hardwood floor, so we just swept all that glass into the corner, and he's got on house shoes, and I've got on house shoes. And there's probably glass everywhere that we can't see. You're doing good.
Thanks.
Now, Susan is one of the affiliates too. And I was wondering about that, Susan, when I saw that you ordered 2 of them. I'm like, oh, she's doing a giveaway.
Oh, cool. Thank you for doing that, Susan. We appreciate you being an affiliate too.
Oh, Annette says she bought the Ultimate Collapsible. Yay!
Has it come in yet? Have you gotten it yet?
Annette, who wants to know if yours has come in yet. Susan said she used it for the first time tonight for her 10-inch mesh. Was selling this product for work. Laugh out loud, we can use these things. Oh, good.
Sweet. What do y'all use them for at work? Hannah was gonna have me make one for her work, for her embroidery business.
Yeah, you said something about that.
I'm not sure if we're gonna make one or not, but
How long are the rolls?
well, she was gonna send me home with a test roll.
Oh, okay.
But that may be something that we could look into doing. I don't know. But
If it's real long, it'll take a big fat dowel.
yeah, people that do embroidery type work. I mean, there's no end to what these things can be used for.
We have a lot of embroidery businesses, people that have the Cricut machines, the vinyl machine. These things hold vinyl stabilizers for embroidery. Oh, look at him getting creative, and he's doing his own system now. See,
Wow.
he's moving the curls. And
Well, I've been
no,
alternating.
I love it.
I've been alternating these up and down, so I put the wrong one on first.
It's the backing for the embroidery. Yeah, that's what Hannah said. Yeah, see, he only let me teach him how to make the first couple of mesh rollers, and then it was on, and I got kicked out of the garage, and so now he's doing that with the ruffles and curls.
You hear that, honey? I'm ruffling, curling it up over here.
Annette, I do not sell the mesh. I do sell the mesh rollers. That is what I sell. We hope one day to be able to sell the supplies to go with them, but we're just not at that point yet. But it is a Polydeco burlap, which should be pretty easy to find. Don't get actual burlap. Make sure you get the poly burlap, because working with real burlap is not good for your lungs.
Really?
Yeah, little tiny fibers float in the air, and once it gets in your lungs, there's no way to get it out.
Never knew that.
It's one of the first things I learned in the wreath making community.
Really?
Is to not work with natural burlap.
Learn something.
I mean, I have used it, and I have some, but I
Is it
try
mainly-
to avoid it.
Is it mainly just when you start cutting on it and stuff? I mean, don't people still use burlap for things?
Yeah, it's just real fibrous, and it's fine, and it floats in the air.
This should be my last
All right,
hour one.
Susan Skelton says she uses her sidekick for commercial vinyl that weighs up to 25 to 75 pounds. On the sidekick?
On the sidekick?
Wow.
Dang. Okay, that was the last outer one.
Okay. Now we need to do one for each one on the inside.
Same thing?
Uh-huh.
I'm out of these. We didn't cut enough of those. But I need to cut some more.
Okay. I thought we had them. I thought we counted. Sorry.
It's alright. Well,
Alright.
set our
How many do you need? I think that was 9, so we
1,
have
2, 3, 4,
7
5, 6, 7. Yeah, it looks like
or
7.
8?
8.
Okay. So that'll be 4 cuts of each. But I make mesh rollers or sell mesh rollers. I don't do math.
They were 20, right? 20 inches?
Yes. Susan, I think it was on your live. Oh, she says she laughed. She said no. She says need one made for work for that. Well, Hannah Elizabeth on here is Matt's fiance, and he's gonna try to make her a big heavy duty thing for her work. She does upholstery work, so
We'll see how that
maybe
goes.
we can come up with something that'll work for you, girl. See how quick it was to cut those 4 strips?
Easy. I'll tell you this, I've never made a wreath without a mesh roller, but I definitely would not want to make a wreath without a mesh roller. That would take a somewhat enjoyable, fun craft and turn it into a hassle.
Well, when I retired from my full-time job, I just wanted to make wreaths just for fun. And so I started following a bunch of wreath makers. Well, I take that back. I said that in the opposite order. I started seeing people make wreaths online and thought, I can do that. That looks like fun. So I was retired from my job and I thought, hey. So I started buying some supplies here and there and thought I would just make me a wreath or 2. And I realized real quick that working with curly mesh is a pain in the butt. Your coat is going to go tumbling. There you go. And I sketched out on a piece of paper one day after a month or so of making wreaths, and I drew it on a piece of paper and I handed it to Matt's dad and I said, do you think you could make me something like this? And he kind of looked at it and kind of looked at me like, what in the world? He goes out in the garage and grabs some scrap wood, and about an hour, hour and a half later, he comes back in with the very first single mesh roller. It didn't have a ruler on the front or anything. I put that bad boy on the table and started making cuts on the mesh, and I was like, hallelujah. I mean, angels started singing. It was like, wow.
I know one thing, and again, I'm not a wreath expert by any means, but making a wreath without this Pro Bow would be a pain in the butt too. I mean, trying to do this and keep up with all of it and, and make these little...
And I've never seen anybody use the Pro Bow like we're using it here. A lot of people use...
Y'all do this by hand? If you don't have a Pro Bow, get one. I'm telling you. This would be a whole different experience if I didn't have... I mean, look how easy that is. This holds it for me.
Annette, the rolls, he cut the base mesh is 20 inches long, and the little curls are 10 inches apiece. So he's doing one 20-inch piece of mesh that he's folded and ruffled up, and then he's putting 2 curls on top of that in each tie. But what I wasn't prepared for, our feed just got interrupted, so let me, hopefully.
This does goes on this part.
Yeah, you want to flip all your ties. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, we lost y'all there for a second. What was I saying? I hit a slick spot. It changed everything about my enjoyment in making wreaths because it was easier. I didn't have to fight with the mesh, and it just changed everything. But it never occurred to me that someone else would want one. And so that night I went live with it for the first time, and a bunch of, well, I only had 20 or 30 people on, but there were several people saying, oh, what is that? What is that? And I said, oh, it's just something my husband made. oh, will he make me one? And I'm like, ugh. My husband's an electrician for the local utility company, so he works a lot of overtime. And I asked him later, I said, do you think you could make a couple of these? I think I might could sell some. He said, no. And
Dad?
so, yeah, you can hear it coming out of his mouth. Anyway, and then every time I would go live with it after that for about 2 weeks, people kept asking me. And finally I woke up one day and I'm like, how hard would it be for me to find somebody that can make these? And so I went on the hunt for a woodworker.
It proved to be pretty hard, actually.
What?
Finding a woodworker.
Yeah, we went through quite a few. But I remember standing in the kitchen of the first one, and him and his wife, and I'm like, man, I don't know if we're gonna sell 1, 2. We might sell 10. I don't know. Well, 3.5 years later, the rest is history. All right, Don Sanchez said there's another product idea for you for those that don't have a Probo.
Yeah.
No, y'all just go buy your Probos from Regina. I'm not.
Yeah.
No, she's got a patent on that bad boy.
And she's got it perfected.
Yes, she does.
It's already great the way it is. And yes, you need one as well.
Susan says, she says, I remember making my first crappy one. And talk about yours till I could afford to buy yours. I would always say it in my lives. Oh.
Oh, she had a makeshift version of one?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
One lady told me a story, and I've never gotten it out of my head. Once you learn how to make something, and you streamline the process, and you streamline where you get your materials from, and you streamline all the stuff, it's cheaper to have someone else make it for you than it is for you to try to get all the stuff to make it yourself.
Y'all don't even want to walk the road we walked to get to where we're at.
Yeah.
It is not as glamorous as it may appear at times. It's been a really rough, tough road.
One lady sent
to get our process down.
Yeah, one lady sent me a sweet note, and she said, I just wanted you to know that I took a picture of it and I showed it to my husband, and I said, can you please make this for me? And she said her husband looked at her and said, how much does that woman charge for that? And she told her, and he said, order it. He didn't want no part of it.
Yeah, it seems like a simple enough contraption until you really start, breaking it down on what it's going to take to actually produce the product that we do. There's a lot to it. It's not just a simple little contraption. It takes me probably, I don't know, an hour to an hour and a half with our streamlined process of just straight labor just to produce one of these things.
Yes.
So I mean, there's a lot of man hours to crank out all the ones that we sell. They don't make themselves, that's for sure, and the material is really expensive.
Regina, put your link in here. I see people asking about the Probo. Put your link in.
Yes, get a Probo.
Make sure I didn't miss a...
Another thing it's helping me do is just...
Susan, I appreciate that. She said hers was horrible. She loves Susie's.
the way it holds it in place, like it's helping me, arrange them and put them in just the right way I want them too, so I don't have the open ends flapping around and everything.
See, he's figuring it out, y'all. Making wreaths is fun and it's easy and it's relaxing if you have the right tools.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right tools, there y'all go. Okay, Beverly just put Probo the Hand link in here. Let me see if I can pin it. Where did the pin button go? You can't do it anymore? Oh well. So y'all, there's a link in the comments for Probo the Hand. Regina Sellers is in here. She's the creator of this product.
I still need one more.
She's had it patented for a long time. And it is worth its weight in gold. Especially if you make Christmas tree topper bows.
Well, you've used it. You've used it on the fly, Regina. I'll tell you this. She uses that thing on the fly all the time for all different kinds of stuff. I mean, even for my daughter Allie, she's, you know, we were gonna go to church one Sunday and had a new outfit for her, and she just whipped together a bow for her and matched her outfit. So I mean, she uses this thing wrapping presents. She makes bows for presents, all kinds of stuff.
Looky there, Regina Durham said she ordered her Pro Bow last week. Yay!
Sweet.
And y'all, I was telling Regina earlier, I learned this the hard way. And even though Regina puts instructions in her box with links to go to, I didn't read it. I was guilty. I didn't know it was in there. Anyway, but I didn't know until I had her Pro Bow for a long time that she has got countless free tutorial videos showing you in detail exactly how to make them. So if you get a Pro Bow and you're intimidated by it like I was, don't be, because when I found her videos, I was like, oh no, this, I got this.
What gave her the idea to make this? Like,
Well, I wish Regina was here to tell the story, but Regina, I'll probably butcher this to death, but I want to attempt to tell your story. She used to own a Christmas store, a retail store where she sold trees and all the decor, and just a Christmas store. And a very large part of her business was bows. People would come in wanting her big, gorgeous bows. And she made them by hand for a long time. And I think she had arthritis or something starting up in her hands. And so she made this board with the pegs sticking up out of it in the positions where her fingers would be if she was wrapping the ribbon around them.
mm-hmm.
And so she figured out a way to get the board to hold the ribbon where she wanted it to be held while she constructed the bow. So it freed up her hand, and the arthritis in her hand didn't hurt so bad.
Oh, nice.
So, and she figured out she had something there when she could whip out bows and nothing flat with it.
But
And decided to file for a patent and was awarded one. So
that's a long process.
yeah, it's not easy to get a patent, y'all. And I'm very proud to say that we have 2 patents on the collapsible.
Okay.
You got it?
I think I got them.
All right. Let me come out of my cave over here.
Sorry if that took 10 years, y'all.
All right. That looks good. And what you're gonna do is, like, in places like where you can see the wire, you just kind of want to just
Flip
flip
it.
on them so you don't see it.
Okay.
All right. And I can't see the camera, so can y'all see the sign? Hold your sign up again so they can see what it says in case for the new ones.
It says, one fine fisherman lives here with the catch of his life.
And if Hannah Elizabeth is still in here, she's the catch of his life.
Yes, she is.
That's his fiance.
She's amazing. She's my best friend.
All right. Okay, now remember we told y'all that he wasn't going to make a bow and he wasn't going to put any ribbon in this. So, y'all will get a kick out of what is going to be in place of his bow. Show him that.
Here's my bow.
His boat propeller.
What do you think?
That's going to be his bow with a lot of colorful stuff hanging off of it. So, anyway, but that's going to be really cute.
Y'all like my bow?
And this bow you cannot make on a Pro Bow.
No, I don't know if you can make that one on the bow.
Hannah says, and you are mine. Y'all are so sweet.
She's talking about my no, she's my best friend. She is. We do everything together. She's my best friend. I guess that's the way it should be, though.
Yep. Wouldn't want it any other way.
No.
All right. Hey, look, looks pretty good.
Okay.
Hold it up in front of the camera and let them see the base before we start putting stuff in it or on it.
Is that okay?
Yep.
I feel like it needs to be.
Well, the sign and your bow and all that stuff is going to cover up a lot of, because your sign is going to like go here.
Okay.
But, and looky here.
Got some bobbers and some fish and some lures and a random ball wrapped in fruit. Whatever that is.
I could have at least got 2 of them.
This is a fisherman's knot. Looks like a ball of, well, rope.
Oh my goodness. So,
here, we need to take this part off. I'm gonna need to get this off.
Oh, okay.
Take this off.
Yeah. And all of the goodies that are going in this wreath, every single one of them came from Hobby Lobby. So, over in the outdoor kind of decor section. So,
That happens to be my favorite part of Hobby Lobby.
yeah.
Hannah and I have actually spent a little bit of time in that section before.
You can actually leave it on because I don't think it's going to show once we
Okay.
get it on there. Good.
Trying to get the price tag sticker
Yeah.
off the back of this.
Look and see if there are some natural color pipe cleaners in that tub. If not, we'll just use the
Some white
the
ones.
zip ties. The zip ties will be easier to use anyway. Alright. Let's see if these go through here. Oops.
No?
Hang on. Use.
A smaller zip tie maybe?
I don't think so.
Coffee straws.
Oh, I think
Would it really not fit in there? Looks like it
you
would.
might could bend it through.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him getting it in there.
Yeah.
There you go. Alright, so once that's on there nice and tight, set down flat, and see if we can go down to that frame there.
Mm-hmm.
See how I caught that in that metal?
Mm-hmm.
And do that really tight, and then put the excess towards the back, and then we'll trim it off. Don't get it too tight because you don't want to squish this down in it. You want it to sit on top. There you go. In my opinion, this is probably the hardest part about making a wreath is putting the attachments on. That'll be fine for now. Just turn that in, and then
Do you want me to go ahead and cut off the excess?
do the bottom one, and get that nice and secure.
Do you want me to cut off the excess before I turn it?
You can. Let me see if y'all got any questions. Regina Durham said, SWAT. Now I get it. Yeah, you know how that came about, Regina? My husband and I were watching a movie one night, and he went, look, a Susie's Recent Things truck just drove by. And I went, huh? And he just kind of grinned and didn't say nothing. And a few minutes later, another SWAT truck went by, and he went, see? Susie's Recent Things just went by again. And that's how SWAT was born.
Yeah.
So,
Lots of play on words. SWAT team.
yeah. And if you want to grab, if it's possible to grab both rows of the metal so it doesn't roll, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So anyway, that's how the word SWAT was born. And we're a big Second Amendment family, so we're all about that. we love our boys in blue and support them. And you was wondering what SWAT meant to it, Annette? Yeah. He's got it on his hat, he's got it on his shirt, he's got it on the wall behind him. We're just a SWAT family. You get it?
Yeah, this is being a little bit more difficult than it should be because the hole is not as big as the zip tie is.
That's good, because when you push down on the other one, the other end of it, it'll come up some.
Let's see.
He's doing good, y'all.
Are we gonna put that at the end? Kinda, or
Hang on, let me look. Yeah. I'm gonna do it. Set it down.
kinda like that?
Yeah, hang on, mate. Are we gonna have room for the propeller?
I don't know. I mean, this almost ought to be centered in it if we're gonna do it that close to the center.
Yeah. I say clip it and bring it down to that bottom row so it won't be so close to the center. Well, at least we got plenty of zip ties.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that wreath standing up on its own. Who needs a wreath stand? Regina wants to know, where are y'all from? I'm originally from Louisiana, lived in Georgia for many years, and just moved to Arkansas.
What part of Arkansas?
His fiance lives in Arkansas, and we live in North Mississippi. You could throw a stone into Memphis from where we live.
What part of Arkansas?
He is learning the side nightmare. To me, that's the hardest part of a wreath, is getting the side on right. What do you decide to do, the bottom?
Isn't that what I'm supposed to? No?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of at an angle a little bit. Yeah, he's got it going on. He's doing it. The rest of it will be easy peasy. From Sherwood.
Sherwood? That's right near Conway.
Oh, you're neighbors with his fiance, Regina.
I'll be up in your neck of the woods tomorrow. We were actually in Sherwood this past weekend at the Academy Sports, and then we ate at the Dairy Queen there.
All right.
We were trying to find a new pop-up tent for our campsite when we go camping.
Some of these might have to be a little bit tighter. Move towards the front just a little bit. They're fine for now. We can flip it when we get done.
Stop that. Sorry, Hannah, I'm going to miss our tournament.
All right. So see if there's a spot right there.
Are we going to do that with the zip tie? Or?
I thought it would be kind of cool if you ran these bobbers.
You did it with the zip tie on this?
Yeah, and then run a zip tie and catch one of those ropes to it. Does that make sense?
You won't see it.
Yeah. So his That's gonna have, the bobbers are gonna be the tails to his bow. Is anyone here going to TDR? What in the world is TDR? Do tell. Oh wow, Susan, I didn't know that about you. She said the sign is the hardest part, and that's her job. She's a sign maker. I did not know you were a sign maker.
Oh well.
Good to know.
Hey, what if we attach this with a zip cord and then use this to hide the?
Oh, I thought that's what you were doing.
Well, we would need to attach this first, and then we can run that up there to hide it.
You
See
could, yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Or you can attach it all at one time with one zip.
I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
Okay. So if you run this through here, the longest one in the back. These are some. And then attach that to the metal frame. You'll probably have to do more than one. One zip tie might actually show.
It will show. That's why I was kind of thinking we'd do it that way.
Wait a minute. You gotta attach it.
Yeah. Let's see here.
This would be kind of complicated for an actual seasoned wreath maker, so he's getting into complicated waters here. Alright, so if you could wrap it around that and one strand of that. See that one strand? Catch that in with the metal part right there. Does that make sense?
You're gonna be able to see that though.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be able to see that though. Does that matter?
No, but I have a fixed sport that's not a zip tie.
So don't put the zip tie or do?
I'm thinking, y'all, I'm gonna have to move the camera to get in this cabinet. Y'all bear with me. Live and in Technicolor here, y'all.
May not be as bad if we do it in the middle one.
See if those help.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Oh, girl. Yeah. Commercial signs. Don't my own hand hardly ever for wreaths. You don't use yours for. Okay, yours are just for commercial. Okay, got it. I didn't read it right. Sorry. Texas Designers Roundup. That's what the TDR stands for. Regina, to be honest with you, I'm so out of touch. I didn't even. I hadn't heard of it.
I did it around the middle one.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't show as much.
We're gonna bring it up.
Make it a little tighter.
You want to use one of these?
Yes, I figured we could fill in with that.
Okay. You want to make that really tight to it. I'm thinking the sign is gonna have to move. I think he's doing good though, isn't he, y'all? Hey, Andrea Brown. Oh, I thought Andrea was on here. So you're saying Andrea is the host of the TDR. Okay. See, I didn't know that. Yeah. You gotta be careful, Regina. You were sick for what, about a year and a half? You always had something going on. I think he's doing good, Susan.
Thanks.
He's determined, that's for sure. He's in the zone.
I could have left it a little loose before I did this.
Just run it all the way through it and just let that figure. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, gotcha. Just write one on one side and one on the other. Write one side going this way and one side going that way.
What do you mean?
Oh, I see what you were doing. Just take it down.
Well, I wanted to, that doesn't really help us at all because it needs to go over the top of it.
Okay, then come from the bottom, and then come up. Go around one of your wires.
Okay.
In,
I see what you're saying.
in between a curl. If I can find a hole in there.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be cool when it's done. Y'all don't look at the crazy lady who's makeup and hair and done. But, hey, I don't care. Y'all sing me every which way but loose. Okay, we're gonna move the sign, but I think that, hold it up and see how these dangle. Yeah, that's really cute. We're just gonna move the sign, but isn't that gonna be a cute bow, y'all? Alright, let's use these for the sign. I think that'll be easier. So if you'll clip that loose, and we'll reposition that. Because these little dudes here, they'll be easy and fun to put in.
You said something about hot glue?
Yeah, I'm gonna plug it in. Make sure it's getting warm. I can't tell if it's
Actually, it doesn't look bad like that. Now we can grab some of this stuff up here and get it up higher. Okay.
You might even want to grab hold of this tie in here too.
Okay.
Sorry. Just want to bring it up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take it away from you. Kind of high like that. Donna Pickering said, my husband says he would hang that up any day on our door. Oh.
All right. What's his name?
What's your husband's name, Donna? Mr. Pickering, I guess. It's definitely a guy's wreath, huh? But it does allude to the catch of his life, so it does imply that there is a woman there. Let's go around
In
there.
most cases.
Yeah.
All right.
So the other stuff that you're going to put in it will kind of balance everything out. Ooh. That's kind of, all right. And kind of maybe go on the end there, inside.
So what kind of signs do you make?
That question would go to Susan Skelton. She says she makes commercial signs.
Okay.
But I didn't know that about you, Susan.
Do you do
She makes beautiful wreaths and stuff.
vehicle wraps and all that too?
Donna's husband's name is Grayley.
Thanks, Grayley.
That's a cool name.
I like that name. Never heard that name actually. Grayley. That's cool.
I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Did I pronounce it right?
Hopefully,
Grayli.
hopefully we didn't just butcher his name. Is that alright?
Yeah, the sign is good. We're probably gonna, that boat motor is so heavy, we're gonna have to reinforce it. So what we'll do is the weight of this around this one,
Okay.
kind of up and over,
Get it supported.
you know, without getting too much of your stuff caught in there. Those little boppers are heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rhonda's got that right. Mama will need to fluff it.
Yeah.
He's gonna get to fluff it. He's gonna learn that. The one thing's for sure, we all know if you make wreaths, you gotta dig into these bad boys and fluff them later. Definitely need a wreath stand. Make it easier if it was hanging up while you were working on it. How did that go? Who's in the pudding when you hold it up? Yeah, that looks better. All right, put it to the camera so they can see it. All right, this is gonna be cute, y'all. Gotta be cute. Got a boat propeller. Oh Lord. I had
What do we do with that?
I'm not gonna go there. We're gonna tie that down somewhere.
No, no.
Stop.
Almost. No.
Oh my God.
Anywho,
Okay.
they probably don't even know what we're laughing at.
Okay, it is getting hot. So you.
Gross. Alright. I don't even know what to do with this thing.
Here, watch out.
Why'd you have to point that out?
Oh my God.
Now it's ruined.
Hannah, if you're on here, that's hilarious.
Oh God.
Okay. So, if you secure the fish in here on the streamer, and you get them right where you want them, then you can put a little dab of glue. But you want to secure this along the way, like for instance right here. You can use this to secure it there. You see what I'm saying? So you take advantage of your ties that are available.
Okay.
To secure it in there, I'm going to hold it up and you decide where you want it.
Okay.
Kind of make it look like your fish are swimming. They all have to go in the same direction,
I
don't
don't
they?
think there's any. Well, there is a rhyme and reason. Okay.
So I'll tie this one down.
Well, they're not gonna be able to swim like that straight up because
Okay.
of the curve. So
Okay. But we'll just treat them like individual fish because everything will bend. So if we secure the first end of the string, where did it go?
just thought of an idea for this.
Oh my God, don't start. No, don't start. Okay, find the end.
It's a good. It's a good thing we didn't just put it there.
They may not know what we're laughing at, but if they do, then we're trying to be nice, y'all.
Probably a good thing.
Okay. So, where's the other end of this one? There it is. Alright. So what you'll do, is that dripping yet? Yeah, this won't take but just a minute. So you just get one fish where you want it. Put your little dab of glue. Not too much or it'll look messy. A little dab will do you. I would get them kind of placed a little bit. Did I bring it up far enough? Yeah, maybe I didn't. Let's bring it up one more fish. Oh, you just glued it, didn't you?
Oh, it's okay.
Okay. Where is it? Here we go. I'm all in your way. Okay. So I guess just start at the top up here
Okay.
and
Work
glue
your
your
way
fish down. Yeah, tie this end to that tie and secure them. You don't have to kill your fish and make them do what you want.
Okay.
All right, I'm coming back to read the comments, y'all. Susan said I just made it worse. The fish are swimming. Oh my gosh, I love the comments. Yeah, my face did get red at that. So y'all did know what we were laughing at? Am I going to come up with a wreath stand? I have no plans of doing that, but I do have a friend that's working on one, so and it's going to be the bomb too. Yeah, but I think my face got red. Matt's probably did too. You may have to apply some pressure. Hey, do y'all notice the glue gun holder that he's working with? How many of y'all have a glue gun holder?
Gotta get one of these.
Barbers and fish swimming. I gotta figure out where that, I don't know what you call it, a fisherman's knot or something. And then you can do lures down here maybe.
I mean, if it, we don't have to.
You don't even have to put that on
If
there.
it doesn't go, we don't have to.
Yeah. The fish are looking good. He's getting them placed just right, y'all. He's almost done.
Trying to get my little glue spider web out of here.
We have all had glue gun burns. Matt's face was as red as an apple, yep. Carol said she ordered one the other day. Have you got it yet?
Sweet.
He shipped a bunch of them out this week already. You have a glue gun holder as well? Gave one of those on your giveaway. I didn't know you were doing a giveaway. I would have come joined it. When did you do that? Alright, turn them around for them to see it.
I'm not finished with it.
I'm sorry. Those bobbers, they're heavy. They're real heavy.
Yeah, that one's the one to be weird.
Well, if you hadn't got it yet, we're going to get it to you real quick. I tell you, I'm really surprised he wanted to do this because he works in that hot garage all day. And for him to want to come in here and do this at night is pretty impressive because it is non-stop out there, y'all. Don't burn yourself. It was a while ago for one of the sidekicks a month ago, but well, yeah, please let me know the next time. I would love that. Was it a contest or something, or you were just doing a random giveaway? Donna said, thank you for doing this, Matt.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for watching. I'm not that interesting. You guys decided to tune in with us.
I think you're doing pretty cool. All right, turn around so they can see it too.
I gotta figure out what to do with this last little fish here.
And y'all thought I was a perfectionist. Follower goals. There you go.
Hmm.
I was asking her about what the she gave a sidekick and a glue gun holder away, and I was just wondering asking her what the occasion was. If y'all would share this, I would appreciate it. From my end, it just shows that one share. Oh, there's a bunch of shares. It just doesn't tell me. Okay, a bunch of y'all have shared it. Thank y'all. About got it?
Just about. I'm actually gluing some of these fish together.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Still stick.
A sidekick is, well, when he gets through gluing this fish together, I'll get him to show you the double. We have it right behind him. It's a miniature double or single mesh roller that holds 10-inch mesh. It's our newest product, and we call it the Sidekick. We have a Sidekick single and a Sidekick double.
How long should I hold this to get it to set?
Just for a minute to let it cool. See how detailed he is. He's got a little bit of OCD like his mama.
A little bit. I don't know if this is gonna work.
Thanks, Susan. I appreciate that. Regina, I think yours was a double. How are you feeling, Regina? Are you better? Because I think when you ordered it, you had just gotten out of the hospital or just went into the hospital. I'm hoping you're doing better. I was praying for you for sure.
Alright, this is not working. I'm gonna abandon that.
Okay. Just let that fish flop in the breeze.
It might be the best option.
Alright, hold it up and let us be the judge. Alright. There you go, right there. Alright. So we got some, hold it closer to the mesh roller so they can see it. How about fail? So we'll figure out a way to get that boat propeller coming forward a little bit. And then we'll, maybe some lures right here.
And it'll bend forward a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a way we can fix that. We'll take a picture of it once it gets fluffed and frou-froued and all that stuff. But I think, maybe hang a couple of these down there. Yeah.
really and truly, they should have put it like this so it could hang. But
Oh well. That's the fisherman in you coming out.
yeah.
She's doing better. Been having issues with her throat ever since. Oh, they did the scope. Oh my gosh. Bless your heart. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. It was definitely this was his idea. Okay, I did not force my son to do this. He wanted to. He's enjoying working for SWAT. I said, I'm just using the rope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then put another one like right below it. If somebody hangs this on their front door and it's windy, these bobbers are so heavy, it's going to sound like somebody's knocking on their door. Oh, Matt, you did an awesome job. Thank you both for all your hard work. Oh, Annette, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if anybody's interested in this, we're going to put it on the Etsy shop tomorrow sometime. Yeah. Hey, we're going to get some wire in there, girl. She said wire will hold that up. Has the mechanical skills. He will perfect it. Yep, for sure. Sometimes it's kind of hard to think when you know there's a whole bunch of people watching you and you're like, ah. But it'll be very balanced and secure by the time it gets finished and ships. That's cute though. Put it over close to the mesh roller so they can see. Can y'all see the fish in it? That's cute, Matt.
I'll finish.
That is definitely a manly man wreath. No doubt about it. It's got a boat propeller, fishing bobs, a string of fish, got lures. That is cute.
Here, you hold it up so I can see it.
Okay. Go look at it on the computer screen. That'll be easier for you to tell me if it's in the frame good. We'll have to figure out a way to get these to come forward. What do y'all think?
It needs to rock back your way. Like, turn it, I guess, clockwise a little bit.
This way?
That way is fine, but the actual wreath, like a
Oh,
string.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
There you go. All right, now towards the mesh roller a little bit.
Y'all see it? Didn't he do good? And we'll secure that up. We'll get that up out of the way, maybe down here. And the boat propeller will get secured some more. We may have to get the drill out for that and use some wire.
I'll definitely have to make some changes.
So what do y'all think? He did good. Get up here and hold your finished product. All right, y'all. Matt and his design.
Woohoo!
Not bad for your first wreath. And not only that, but it's outside of the box thinking.
You're gonna need to fix a lot of stuff on it though. Just
Oh yeah.
making it.
We'll get some good pictures taken of it after we get it all done and secured.
I'll get it presentable.
It's a super manly wreath, she said. Someone said, cool. Susan, don't make me start laughing.
Did she point out the
Yeah.
obvious?
She pointed out the
Yeah.
obvious.
I was hoping